Welcome to another episode of Linked AfriCast. I am Erin Kaba, and this is my co-host,
Abraham Laurie.
And we are excited to be back with you again, where we are representing Linked Africa, where we empower Africans through connection, learning, and mentorship. Today's topic is support network. This is a must-have for the 21st century. We have to have a support network. And a support network is a group of people who provide guidance, encouragement, and resources to help individuals navigate different aspects of their personal, academic, or professional lives. So before we get too deep into this, let's first talk about what defines a good support network for mentees. For me, and at Linked Africa, we believe that a good support network is a network that definitely uplifts and guides you in a positive direction. And it has to be made up of people that can hold you accountable, who can be direct with you, and who has your best interest at heart. What do you think, Abraham?
Thank you so much, Erin. First of all, good evening to all our listeners. Yes, I agree totally. Definitely, support network should be people who give you all the things Erin is saying, and also few things I would like to add as a good support network should be able to provide emotional support, career guidance, and knowledge sharing. When I say this, I'm talking of the holistic support of the individual, because clearly we know just getting physical support or material support is not enough. There's a mixture of formal and informal relationships that need to come into contact in order to form a good support network. And in this sense, we mean a combination of mentors could be there, family members could be there, even your professors if you're a student, your colleagues in school or workplace, and the entire community. And definitely an organization that represents Africans, we never speak without adding African proverbs. And there's an African proverb that says that it takes a whole village to raise a child. And again, there's also another one that says if you want to travel far, you travel with others. We believe that collectively we achieve more. And that is what a support network is, providing that kind of holistic support to you, the individual, or to the mentees. And that's what Linked Africa represents.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, can you kind of share with us the value of building a strong support network?
Yes, I would use myself as an example. I come from a very small community in Ghana, and I am from a family that has that kind of support for each other. I lost my dad when I was just 6, and my mom had to raise 8 young kids on her own. So it tells you without supporting each other, it would have been very difficult for my mom to do it. So I am someone who really believes in providing support for other people. In the community that I grew up, kids that were there didn't have that kind of external support that other kids would have. So growing up, I took it upon myself to be a mentor, be a teacher, be someone who would provide that guide for them. And I believe the value in building a strong support network, first of all, begins from the fact that it helps in fostering faster progress in your career, regardless of whatever career you find yourself in. I believe there's no career that success is guaranteed on a solo basis. Every career needs someone who would guide you. And if you're able to get someone in your corner who would provide that kind of support, your career progresses very faster. What would have taken you a year to accomplish with a mentor or a support network in your corner, you're able to achieve it faster than that time frame. Secondly, I also believe there's easy access to knowledge and resources if you have a support network in your corner. I work at Colorado State University as a student success program coordinator. And when students come to us, one of the major things we teach them or we help them to know is the access they can get to campus resources. I am bringing this particular statement in simply because students might not be able to identify these resources on their own, but because they have support networks like myself and other staff and professionals within the university campus, they're able to identify resources that can help them to succeed as students and as individuals or even people in particular. And that is what support network does for us. Finally, one thing that I would also love to mention is the fact of building confidence. There is a saying that confidence is key to achieving all things in life. And I believe that without confidence, it's difficult for individuals to really live up to their potential and be able to use their resources to their fullest, simply because that is what I believe a support network does. It helps individuals to really identify what is within them so they can approach their goals with confidence and work hard to achieve them. So these are a few things I would say when it comes to the value of building a strong support network.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you said. And thank you for sharing your background and making it personalized to you. I feel that another value of having a strong support network is emotional safety. I know back in the day when I was younger, there wasn't a lot of space to talk about your feelings. You kind of had to push through things, and you had to basically cry in your pillow at night, because you didn't really have that emotional support. But now, today, social emotional wellness is such a big thing, and your support network can provide you an emotional and mental safe space if you have the right people in your circle. So your mentors and your peers can be supportive. You can have those honest conversations and to avoid burnout, you have to definitely be able to lean on your peers and say, you know what, I'm having a really bad day today,
Yeah.
or I'm having trouble keeping up with everything. And sometimes you may need to take a mental health day. You may need to talk through some things, but you having someone or a few people in your corner when you are having troubles during your academic or professional life is very, very important. Not only is that important, but I feel that when you do have a good support network, you have opportunities to collaborate. You're not alone. You can bounce ideas off of one another. I know a lot of times Abraham and I will bounce a lot of ideas off of one another, even though we work in, I want to say, separate industries. Like we don't work in the same type like line of work, but because he is in my support network, we can talk about time management. We can talk about things that overlap in our lives. So collaborating and coming up with ideas, coming up with different ways to do things is really, really important. And it's really, really beneficial for success. So I want to shift a little bit and let's talk about who should be in the support network. Who you surround yourself with is very, very, very important. And Abraham, you work with a lot of students. So can you talk about the student perspective of who should be in their support network?
Yes, I would really love to talk about that because just like you said, I've always loved working with students. I've spent almost my entire career, almost 2 decades now, working as a teacher and at the same time as a student success worker. And I believe majority of the students that really do thrive are those who try to find a community on campus, be it a combination of professors or whatever on campus to be able to thrive. And I like the fact that you made mention of two things. I wanted to start from there. The first one being appropriate self-disclosure. And we can't overemphasize that. The fact that if you have a good support network, you can appropriately share, you'll be vulnerable to those people and be able to really express yourself to them. And as a student, I believe the people that are supposed to be in your support network should be people you can trust, people you can share even the most intimate issues with, so that at the end of the day, they'll be able to provide you with the resources that you need and the support you need. First of those people would be professors and academic advisors. We all know students, especially those in college, have assigned academic advisors who help them with their grades, issues relating to grades, issues relating to registering classes, dropping a class, declaring a major, changing a major, and stuff like that. These are experienced individuals who have dedicated their life to supporting students in the classroom and even outside. Others that I would also mention would be senior students and alumni, should also be on your support network if you are a student. These are people who have gone the path that you are traveling. They have faced the challenges you're facing. I'm talking of senior students and alumni. They've gone through these same struggles that you're facing today, and all the fun you're having today, they've experienced it. So they have a lot of things to share with you. If you can have one or two seniors or alumni on your support network, they can prove to be a very, very good resource in time of need. Others would also be career counselors. I believe that career counselors can help you because there's a whole life after school. Yes, how long does school last? Sometimes people graduate from, let's say, college at the age of 20, 22. So there's a whole life ahead of you. You need someone who would also help you to see beyond the walls of your school and be able to project into what your strengths are and how those strengths could translate into a career that really fits within the strengths we're talking about here. And that's what career counselors do. They are very, very crucial, and every student should at least have a career counselor as part of their support network. Study groups, peer mentors, friends, and family. We can't also overemphasize this. The emotional support, the academic support that you need, these people would be there to assist you. I used to work in a program called the Bobcats Breakthrough back at Ohio University, where students who had been given a second chance to try to make amends in terms of their academics, probably they've lost their satisfactory academic progress or maybe their financial aid, and they have to prove to the university that when given a second chance, they can make it. Most of these students, whenever they came, we used to provide them with peer mentors or academic coaches who were their peers, so that they have already taken some of the classes these students are taking, and they will be able to provide them with the support they need. That is exactly what a support network means. Having someone, it doesn't matter the age, but at least someone who knows where you are going and will be able to provide you with the assistance. That is for a student in terms of someone who is a student. If I am permitted, can I also talk about people who are transitioning from school into a career who should be on their professional network?
Yes, go ahead.
Wonderful. Yes, so I believe industry mentors should also be people who you should have on your support network if you are moving from school to career. For example, you're already a senior, you are about to graduate, or you are leaving a program and thinking of transitioning into a career. Industry mentors should be there. At the moment, I'm working at Linked Africa as a mentor. Even though I'm serving as the director of education, I also work as a mentor. And in my role as the mentor, any mentee that is within my industry, which is education, I'm able to provide some of the knowledge and resources and experiences they need to thrive in their career to them, because I've been in the industry for a while. And that is what industry professionals do. So having them on your support network is very, very crucial. Other people that should also be on your support network if you are transitioning from school to career is internships and job supervisors. Job supervisors, they could be people who are at your workplace and could provide guidance on how to put together a resume, how to even request for recommendation letters and stuff like that. These are people, or let's say early days in your job, the people that are serving as your supervisors, they could check your work and provide feedback so you can make amends and try to make changes and grow within the role that you find yourself, especially if you are in the early stages of your career, entry level especially. Supervisors would be very, very crucial. Professional associations and LinkedIn groups, another interesting thing. Anytime I speak with students, I tell them if you don't have a LinkedIn page, try to create one. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, which is in a professionally set up, you should create one. And whether you're a student, whether you're transitioning into a career, please create a LinkedIn account and join groups on LinkedIn that are within your industry. They could prove very, very vital. And again, family and friends, as usual. Every stage of your life, you need emotional support, and family and friends would be there to provide that for you.
And so you've covered students and people who are transitioning from school to a career. I'd like to touch on young professionals, like who should be in your support group once you land that job, once you get into that career path. And I believe that it's extremely important to have either colleagues or people who have been at your job or in your career for at least 5 to 10 years, who can provide leadership advice. I remember when I first left college and I entered into the classroom as a teacher, I leaned on some of the senior and more seasoned teachers to kind of lean on, help guide me. And I would ask if I could observe them teaching.
Mm.
Um, but I need to put a little caveat in this. Make sure that you are surrounding yourself with healthy senior leaders or healthy
Yeah.
in your workplace, because when I was teaching, I saw what to do and I saw what not to do for others. So make sure they're a positive influence on your career growth. Also, peers in the industry. So I was in the classroom for about 15 years and then I transferred into the corporate world, and it was extremely different. And so I had someone who was also a teacher, and she worked in corporate for about 5 years before I came in. And she definitely helped me. She wasn't my superior, but she definitely helped me navigate the do's and don'ts of the corporate world and how to show up into meetings and things like that. So it definitely helps you grow if you surround yourself with good peers that are in your industry. Next is professional development and like networking groups. So always don't wait for your industry to train you. Always be seeking out conferences and networking groups so you can learn and so you can grow the knowledge and the skills that you are gaining in your position. It's extremely important for you to do your own professional networking and your own professional development so you can stay ahead of the game. And then you need to keep up with the industry trends. So make sure that you are, this kind of like is along the line with what I just said, but making sure that you are looking at what's going on currently. If you are in education, look at the education trends, look at what's happening in the classrooms, not just in your school, but in the nation or in your country where you are. If you're in finance, you need to be looking at the trends of today. The economic trends are up and down, and especially with whether you're in the United States with the new leadership that we have, or whether you're in another country, there's a lot of change. And no matter what country you're in, there's a lot of political change, there's a lot of economic change. So make sure you're paying attention to what's going on around you. And then the last people that should be in your network are definitely friends and family. Emotional encouragement and social downtimes um, during difficult times when the job is essential. So sometimes you might need to go to that happy hour and just kind of relax with your friends. Or, sometimes you can go with your colleagues, but I wouldn't recommend that too much. But sometimes you need to just let go and relax and not think about work, get your mind off of work and spend time with your family and friends that you trust. Abraham, do you have anything else to add before we close out the episode?
Yeah, I think we've already discussed everything, and my final words would be, as it is said in the business circles, your network is your net worth. So you need to really make sure you build a strong network that would provide the support you need physically, emotionally, and in every sense that would help you to really thrive and fight towards your goals, or try and, I mean, build up progress towards achieving your goals. So yes, a social network or professional network can never be overemphasized. So thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. Thank you. And so this week, I want you to think about who can be in your network, who is currently in your support network, who you would like to have, the type of person you would like to have in your support network. If you don't have a lot of people, just start thinking about how you can build your support network and what you can do to get that guidance. Our next episode, we're going to talk about how to actively maintain and build relationships in your network, why mentorship is a lifelong necessity, and the power of giving back. You need to be a mentor to someone else, right? You gain the knowledge from other people, and then you turn right back around and you be a blessing and a guide to someone else. So we thank you for listening to Linked AfriCast, and we will see you next time.